Alright, to continue on with relation to another video that's going to come out recently, or is already out. Last night I was talking with some friends and I realized something very valuable that I got to experience as a result of my parents doing something. Okay? And that was basically, I title it this way because my parents left me alone a lot. And they let me be by myself, and I was also really rebellious in the nature of just wanting to do it myself, right? So they let me do a lot of things alone, and I think sometimes my parents might feel like, oh, they're bad parents because they were neglecting me in a way, and blah blah blah. And really, I think it was a blessing and it was a gift, and I'll tell you why. So I think what helps me see objectively in a lot of situations is that I was not conditioned like many of us are, okay? I was not conditioned constantly by friends or by family. I was oftentimes alone throughout all 22 fucking years of my life, alright? I'm not 22 yet, I'm almost 22. But I purposefully figured it out for myself, okay? I did not take the word for it, and I didn't get heavily conditioned like most people have been. I think it's a beautiful blessing and a gift, and I don't think it was negligence. In fact, you know, when I think about parenting, I really want to give my child the space to figure it out for itself. And if it needs me, if he or she comes to me, then I will give what they need. But I think the thing that sparked this recognition in me was we were talking about how society is in groups of humans and groups of animals in general. They have these population dynamics. That's kind of like hen pecking. That was the trigger and the root of what inspired this recognition in myself. When I'm feeding the chickens every morning, they have this innate social structure. Regardless of what happens, there's almost like no emotion in their eyes when this happens. It's almost just like a regurgitation of what's been done before them. Of pecking at each other, you know, like in certain, you know, social ways, right? They all have their social ways. And I think in terms of myself, I wasn't socialized normally at all. When I was in school, I sat in the corner, I sat in the side, and I listened and I observed and I looked and I just sat there. I didn't really like engaging in things because, for a variety of reasons, you know, and just kind of felt attacked by so many people just by trying to exist, you know, like, there's so much conditioning, right? I'm trying to be like conditionless, I'm trying to be fluid, I'm trying to be pure, raw experience, right? So engaging in things was a challenge, and like to condition and then uncondition and condition and uncondition. I just said, fuck that, I'll be by myself and figure this shit out. You know, and I just want to like say that there's a lot of conditioning in most people's lives, and I'd never really realized that that's kind of a difference between myself and many other people. You know, probably 99% of other people is probably part of the reason I'm very pure and free-flowing is because I took it upon my own responsibility, and I was grown up in the situation where I had free time and space to do what I needed to do, and my parents gave me that. They didn't influence me very much in a way of socialization and conditioning, and I oftentimes challenge their socialization and conditioning. For some reason, it's just my nature, right? I grew up in that space, and it was my nature because of that. And also, it was my nature because I was fucking there doing it, and whatever, you know, it's nurture and nature, everything. So yeah, I just wanted to say that for a consideration, that I'm a little different, alright? I was raised differently. I was not raised in the ghetto, where there's a bunch of that socialization going on. I was not raised in a rich family, where is that socialization going on. I played sports, but I ended up getting out of it because there was too much fucking conditioning and too much anger, emotions, things like that. I just wanted to pay attention to life, and so I did, and I'm figuring out the nature of experience itself. So there's a little thing there. A gift and a curse in so many ways. Almost everything is a gift and a curse. Just depends on how you look at it. you know. All right, peace.